USS Steelhead, SS-280, a Gato-class submarine, was a ship of the United States Navy named for the steelhead, a North American trout found from California to Alaska. Steelhead, SS-280, was laid down on 1 June 1942 by the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard in Kittery, Maine. Launched on the 11th of September 1942. Sponsored by Mrs. Marguerite Brown, and commissioned on 7 December 1942. Lieutenant COMDR David L. Welchel in command. 1st War Patrol, April to June 1943. Steelhead held her shakedown off Long Island in December 1942 and January 1943. In February, she sailed for the Pacific and arrived at Pearl Harbor on 8 April. After intensive training, she sailed for Midway Island, topped off her fuel there on 25 April, and began her first war patrol. She planted 12 mines off the Japanese mainland near Eramosaki and then bombarded a steel plant and iron foundry near Muroran, Hokkaido. She fired no torpedoes, and the submarine returned to Midway in early June. 2nd War Patrol, June-August 1943. On her second patrol, the 30th of June to the 6th of August, Steelhead fired 10 torpedoes at a Japanese task force on the 10th of July. Explosions were heard, but specific damage could not be ascertained. After refitting at Pearl Harbor, the ship sailed on 13 September for the Gilbert Islands, where she operated as a lifeguard submarine off Tarawa during bombardment by Army aircraft. She called at Johnston Island for fuel and provisions and departed on 25 September to resume her patrol, which took her into the Palau Islands. On 6 October off the Carolines, she damaged tanker Kazel Haya, which Tinosa, SS-283, sank later that day. All her torpedoes expended. Steelhead sighted a large convoy which she trailed, while sending information to other submarines in the area. 3rd, 4th, and 5th War Patrols, December 1943 to August 1944. On her next patrol, Steelhead operated off Bungo Swedo from late December 1943 to early March 1944. On 10 January 1944, she torpedoed and sank the 6,795-ton converted salvage vessel Yamabiko Maru. Her 4th patrol, off Formosa from early April to 23 May, provided no targets worthy of torpedo fire, but she sank a trawler by gunfire. On 17 June, she sortied from Midway Island with Hammerhead, SS-364, and Parch, SS-384, to patrol south of Formosa. On 31 July, the submarine made 3 successful attacks in which 1 ship was damaged and 2 were sunk. Parch also sank 2 from the convoy. Upon concluding the patrol when she arrived at Pearl Harbor on 16 August, Steelhead was routed to the West Coast for a much-needed overhaul. For his services in that last patrol, Welchel, a grandson of Confederate Lieutenant General James Longstreet, was awarded the Silver Star. 6th War Patrol, April-August 1945. While in dry dock, on 1 October 1944, Steelhead suffered a serious fire which required the installation of a new conning tower. After a long repair period, the submarine stood out of San Francisco on 16 April 1945. En route to Pearl Harbor, Steelhead began her last war patrol on 13 May. She performed lifeguard duty in the Caroline Islands and later patrolled in the Tokyo Bay area. She made no torpedo attacks but sank 2 trawlers by gunfire. The patrol ended at Midway Island on 5 August and 20 days later, She sailed for the West Coast. Steelhead arrived at San Francisco on 5 September 1945 and provided services for the West Coast Sonar School until 2 January 1946. She sailed to Pearl Harbor and operated from there until March, when she steamed back to San Francisco for inactivation. The submarine was placed in reserve, out of commission, on 29 June 1946 and attached to the Pacific Reserve Fleet. In May 1947, Steelhead was placed in service, in reserve, and used as a reserve training ship until struck from the Navy list on 1 April 1960. Steelhead received 6 battle stars for World War II service. This article incorporates text from the public domain Dictionary of American Naval Fighting Ships. The entry can be found here. Photo gallery of Steelhead at NavSource Naval History. ADM David Lee Welchel, Sr. at Finder Grave.